Okay, moving on to our next video to continue this lecture. Mobile air supply units. We refer to ours as a light air unit, and essentially it has a compressor on the vehicle, so it has SCBA cylinders, but then also it has the ability to resupply those SCBA cylinders, and then we have a lot of lighting on there. So that's their primary purpose, is to refill bottles at an incident. The vehicles they range from large type pickup trucks with utility bodies to large vans, or they have some custom design apparatuses, or even a trailer that can be pulled. All right, and again, they're there to provide lighting. They're there to provide a supply of air and recharge our SCBAs. All right, and then any repairs that may be done to our backpacks or our harnesses. A mobile command post. This is very similar, like I said, a big RV, very similar to the hazmat unit. This is going to be used by the incident commander and the command staff. They'll go to a location and they'll run the incident from there. You can have communications out of there, references, or other support capabilities that you need for the operation. And then you can have a sport utility vehicle. So those would be like our Suburbans that our battalion chiefs are in, up to larger vehicles for longer extended incidents, which resemble this vehicle that's in the picture there. Some of the equipment that the mobile command post will have: radios, computer equipment with internet access, reference materials, pre-incident plans, a unit status board, so we need to track all the units that are there, what their function is, what units we have in reserve, so we can do what's called a sit stat, which is what is our situation, resource stat or restat, what resources do we have there on scene, what do we have on standby, what do we have available to bring in. And then these will also have our hazmat information or hazardous materials information in them. Fireboats, we have very large fireboats, very similar to what you see here. I think we have two of the largest fireboats in the United States in our department. FDNY's got some pretty large boats. There's smaller versions and there's bigger versions, so they may be small, high-speed, shallow draft vessels, or larger boats with higher capacity pumps like you see here. They may be used to provide water supply to land-based fire companies or for large-scale incidents near the waterfront. So fires on the dock, they'll be there. Fires on a vessel that's docked, fires on a vessel that's in the water. And then they may also be employed to support dive teams or missing persons off boat. So any kind of water rescue will get our fireboats going that are on the water, meaning on the ocean, not in like the riverbeds or anything like that. We'll have smaller vehicles that'll go there. Power and light units, like I said, ours is our light air, so it's combined. But power and light units, they'll be used for lighting and electrical power to incidents. They have larger capacity generators on the apparatus. So if you need additional power, our trucks and engines also have the capability to provide additional power to different equipment. So these also can be equipped with banks of floodlights and then telescoping light towers, portable floodlights, and other electrical cords and adapters. Again, ours has the air supply, and we refer to ours as our light air unit. Mobile fire investigations units carry equipment and materials used to determine fire cause and origin. Our arson investigators do that. Our arson investigators will only investigate, will generally investigate incidents that are of a suspicious nature or have a potential criminal element to them. And what they have is their equipment is used in collection, preservation, and then analysis of any evidence. So some of the equipment they have: flame liquid detectors, gas, chromatographs, common hand tools, lighting equipment, cameras, audio, video recorders, fingerprint kits, sifting screens, plaster cast material, and then storage containers. So if they're collecting any evidence, they have to go through a proper chain of custody. Firefighting aircraft, we don't have any of these. Orange County has their own aircraft. LA City has aircraft. LA County has aircraft. So you have fixed wing and you have helicopters. Those are often have additional support for ground units fighting fires. So they can drop water, they can drop chemical retardant. They can also be used to deploy not just smoke jumpers, but other hand crews. They can be used to deliver supplies and equipment as well. And recently, I was at a drill where they were using drones to deliver supplies and also to drop water on the incidents as well. So the limiting capacity with that is the lift capacity of the actual drone itself. Helicopters can also be used to effect rescues in rural areas or rough terrain, or also our coastal areas where we have large cliffs. So you see that commonly on the news. And then other special units that we have, high expansion foam units. We do have a foam vehicle that has high expansion foam on that. We have dry chemical application vehicles, large caliber master stream apparatus, trucks for smoke removal and control. We don't have a truck that's specifically for that. All of our truck companies do smoke removal and control. And then there's several different types of support vehicles that can be used to with a fuel resupply, so they can refuel, mobile mechanic, so they can come out if the apparatus is broken, towing, thawing, and then rehab stations. So you have some vehicles that come out and they specifically set up rehabilitation for those that are rest and rehabilitation, right? They've worked a certain period of time and they got to do rest and rehab before they continue working. Okay, so our first review question are, what are some common fire department apparatus? And we took a look at several of those. We'll move into uniforms and PPE. Okay, so for uniforms, personal protective equipment, personnel will wear a variety of uniforms and protective clothing while on duty. So our uniforms, they're going to be, generally you're going to have your navy blue pants, navy blue button up with your badge on it. If you have insignia you wear on the collars as you're a company officer. And then our chief officers are going to wear black uniforms. That's very standard within the fire service. Some of our inspectors will wear black pants with white shirts. Those are our fire inspectors, Fire Prevention Bureau. There's a variety of different uniforms and PPE that you're going to wear. PPE, we have specific PPE for our structure fire environment, and then also for our wildland environment, and then our different subsections like our USAR and our hazmat. They're going to have other forms, and our ARF. They're going to have our ARF airport rescue. They're going to have different types of protecting clothing for the hazard conditions that they encounter. Uniforms, station or work uniforms to dress uniforms, casual uniforms. We don't have polo shirts and pants in our department. Some do. Hopefully you'll see the fire service move that way. They, lighter, they breathe, they actually look professional. So I'm a big fan of those when they look professional. We have the button-down shirts and pants, steel-toed boots for our uniforms, and then our full dress uniforms for our personnel that are our captain and below. They basically have a long sleeve shirt, long sleeve button down with a tie, and everybody has a cap for theirs. Our chief officers all have a formal coat, a dress shirt, tie, pants, and then you can wear either well-polished boots or dress shoes. A lot of people have gone to the dress shoes for their dress uniforms. There are some departments that have full dress uniforms for all ranks that include the cap, the formal coat, dress shirt, tie, pants, and dress shoes. Kind of those are agency specific. So this is a standard uniform that you see. You have your navy pants, standard belt. A lot of departments will have a belt buckle that they design with their insignia on there. Like we have, I think, the 100-year anniversary of our department on our belt buckles now. Your button-up shirt, your badge, and then some kind of identifier. They can be either a name plate or they can be sewn in, and then on the sleeves, an identifying patch, typically of the department. Some departments will have like a rocker underneath the patch, like to show paramedic or some something along those lines. So these should meet the recommendations of NFPA 1975, and the purpose is to provide minimum requirements for functional workwear that does not reduce effectiveness of our outer protective clothing, meaning our turnouts, which is all you see. What you see here is your structure turnouts. Firefighters rely on PPE to protect themselves from hazardous conditions, so they're designed to protect the wearer from specific hazards. All firefighters must wear PPE while working at an incident. Okay, so if you get hurt, you get injured, and you're at an incident, you're not wearing your PPE appropriately or not wearing what you're supposed to. You get hurt on an incident, right? Workers' compensation will cover that, but you want to make sure that you're following all the rules and you're not putting yourself at risk. Local standard operating procedures and the nature of the incident will dictate what PPE requirements. So some on vehicle accidents, some department you have to wear your full turnouts, other departments you don't. Okay. Your structure gear here on the left, wildland gear. You're kind of seeing it go away from these yellow type pants to more of a utility type pant. Like I said, ours are navy for captains below, and ours are black for our chief officers. You're seeing a lot of wildland shirts. So this is a brush coat, but you're seeing a wildland shirt. They have a lighter helmet, and then different types of gloves versus your structure gear. Proximity suit, this is what our ARF people wear. And then your level B hazmat suit here, and your level A hazmat suit here. So the level A is fully encapsulated. When we go into level A, we have our t-shirts. We don't wear the button-up shirt. We try to keep as cool as possible. These things are very hot, very humid inside of there. You have your breathing apparatus on your back, you have your face piece on, and once they close up this suit, you're limited to the amount of breathing air you have on your SCBA. In a level B, it's on the outside. PPE decontamination. This should occur following each structural fire response to remove cancer-causing particulates. We didn't do that always. That has been a big trend in the fire service, moving in that direction, which I think is a very good one. And several agencies now require you to decon after a structure fire at the incident, and then you get 2 sets of turnout gear. So you'll bag up your turnouts there, take them back to the station, you'll wash them, you'll get your new set, or your clean set ready to go. That's been a trend that has happened over the last couple of years, which I think is actually a good one because these things continue to off-gas. So you get your backup set of PPE, and then you can go back into your primary set once it's clean. All right. PPE that's been damaged or is so contaminated it can't be cleaned, you remove it from service, and then each department should be providing their personnel with 2 sets of personal protective equipment. Okay, and that's it for the PPE and uniforms.